Hi, I'm Amanda with Hookham Homestead, and I am doing our last week of prep. So I was going to show you a few of the things that we're doing. So number one, I have my school nest notebook that I used last year, but the only spreads I really used in this was the weekly plan. And because of that, I have abandoned this and created something that has a similar outline to it, and that is what we are going to be using for the rest of this next year. I do appreciate this attendance sheet that I was able to just rip out and file away. I also have on here like a whole stack of things to file. Our exams from last year, our old Spanish stuff, our old hymns and things like that. So all that stuff I keep up here in a pull-out drawer, and then it is organized by subject, by form, and so that I have it for when the next round comes through, if we do some similar stuff, which is not always the case because we're not going to go back and do some of these hymns and stuff until they're a little bit older, probably when the other ones have, because there's so many hymns. Anyways, I also have up here my forecasting stuff, so that's going back on my shelf so I can do the forecasting for next term when I'm ready. And then I have in here the my student binders and my teacher binder stuff. So that is all up here and filed away. So now we're going to head downstairs and I'll show you what else I'm doing this week. I have tried turning this video camera around to show my teacher binder, and it's not working because there's too many things that are like, don't show this or don't show that of curriculum I've bought. And so I'm trying to be respectful of those people, and it just is not working out very well. So anyways, I have these little booklets that we made, that we cut and fold to make This is Per Sabbath Mood Homeschool's Nature Explorers Rotation B. And I also have in here my autumn term information so that I can pull that out. I know exactly what our nature walk is and all of that stuff so that I'm ready to go with that. Then, here's the way this is going to best be done. I have shown my forecasting before a little bit in my previous video. So if you want to go and see like how I organize our forecasting, that is on there. And I print that out for my kiddos and put that in here. And then, kind of like the school nest, my brother helped design this for me. And it has 2 student columns because I have 2 students in school currently. Would I put more students on here eventually? Maybe, but I am also hoping that my students will be moving to their own planner once the next one is in. My oldest should be moving to her own planner and doing this on her own. So I don't know that I'm going to need more than 2 students. If I do, we'll update it and move it. But I will be doing a video on how we update that and stuff. Okay, so then next I have a picture in here from the Nature Explorers, which is great. And then I have our poem for the recitation for the term. And then I have our Christmas carol song that we're doing. And then I have our 2 hymns that we're doing. And then I put in here our folk song lyrics. I've got 2 things here. And these QR codes here are 2 videos that actually will help us to learn the songs and have the exact lyrics, because I listen through them and I make sure that all the lyrics are right, because with folk songs, some words get changed here and there, and that is something I don't like. Okay, to have different, because then my daughter's like, why is this not the same? Anyways, because there's different words that come up. Anyways, then I have my songs and my poems from our Spanish curriculum that's in here that they ask not to be shared. Then I have in here a book choices, which includes our science book recommendations that we have, and it includes leisure reading, historical fiction and general fiction. And then I'm also going to put our biographies options in here. And so those are the few that I have in here so far. I might also put the Ambleside online list in there, just so if they're looking for other options. Okay, then the next one I have in here is this little preschool guide that is the Wholehearted Preschool. Sorry, it's back and front printed, but okay. And this is by Raising Yarrow's Mama. She's on Raising Yarrow's Mama is on YouTube, but she has a Teachers Paid Teachers, and this is free on her Teacher Paid Teacher. And it is a guide that includes things like poems and rhymes, fairy tales, literature books to read aloud, nature things to do like trees to learn, flowers to learn, birds to learn, handicrafts for fall, winter, spring, and summer, life skills that would be good, habits, math, like basic math things, and then music. And then she has in here a month, each month, and then each of those categories, and you kind of pick something to work on, and is a very, very, very gentle approach, but a what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional way of doing preschool that is not like pushing preschool. Then I have the curriculum plan from ADE in here, so that if any time I need to look up a resource or anything, I have that all in here because all the links are in here. Then I have in here my answer sheets from Hoffman Academy for the units that my girls are doing, so that when they get to that and I'm checking their work, I don't have to dig it up each time. And then I also have in here in this packet my exam sheet that tells you how to create exam questions or what the exam should look like for your students. And so with that, I keep that in here so that as we go, if I'm writing exam questions, I can just stick them right in there with it. Because that is going to be more of my intention this time, is to get my exam questions in and done sooner than like the week before exams. And then the last thing in here is a little booklet that is from our Spanish curriculum that the kids are going to be reading this year. And so that is the last thing I have in my teacher binder. So as you can see, it's not a whole lot. It's a little bit of our planning stuff, but it's also resources that I need quickly at my fingertips. Otherwise, everything should be on the shelves. All my book guides and stuff are on the shelves. So that's helpful going forward there. And then the last thing I'm going to be doing is organizing this wall. So what I do there is I change out all of our artist study prints, and I will put up the new artist. I take down any art that's on the lines. I will wash my board here and take down all the stuff that's on it. And that's basically it. Oh, nope, this bin. So this is our pencils, pens, markers, all that kind of stuff. So I will throw out any dead dry erase markers. Why don't I do that during the actual school year? I don't know. Sharpen all the pencils and get it ready. And so that's a thing that the kids like to help with because they all like sharpening the pencils. So that is what we will be doing there. And as I said last time, I went through and I did change out my science books. So here we have some mammal books and some invertebrates books. These are just our eyewitness books, but we also have mushrooms here this year and more animal books for the mammals. And then this is some books for my littler kids until here. We have the frontier living, as we will be doing the 18 to 1900s. And so starting with the early portion of that, we're looking at expanding west. And so with that, I have a lot of books on that. And then we have more of those books down here, historical fiction. We've got the Sarah Plain and Tall series, The Cabin That Faced West. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job showing this. On the Way Home. we were there on the Oregon Trail. We have already read the Little House book, otherwise those would be on here. And then we have the Little House songbook that my kids just enjoy. If you traveled in a covered wagon, the Pioneers. So some of these are Meet the Wards on the Oregon Trail, Children of the Wild West on the Oregon Trail, and A Gathering of Days. So those, and then we have just in here random books for my kids to read there at their level that might be pushing them just a little bit, but is still enjoyable free reads. So, and then the last thing, oh no, that's it. So history, and then science got replaced. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. I do want to still kind of clean out these shelves a little bit because I can still see that there's stuff that shouldn't be in them, that is in them. And so I will go through and finish taking care of that. Also our little chalkboard here that the kids play with during the school day, I will wash that off. So it's all the odds and ends, just looking around the school space and finishing it off and just making sure everything is organized. Like one thing I need to do is this foam board needs to be cut in half because I don't need this whole piece. I need half of it for this year, and the other half will go into my supply closet for future years. So it's just all that little stuff that needs to be done still. But we've got 1 week left. I've got next week, the whole week off, and then today's Friday. So the weekend and whatnot. But it's also garlic season, garlic harvesting time. So I gotta get out there and harvest garlic. We sell garlic every year. And because of that, garlic comes due and it is go, go, go. So I am going to go and get that garlic. All right. Hope you have a good one. Hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop the comment, give a like if this is helpful, and all of that stuff. All right. Thanks. Bye.